Good morning. It's Saturday the 1st of September today, and we're going to be doing a lot of clearing out in the beds. A lot of the veg has sort of gone past its best now, or it's getting past its best now. So now's the time to clear it out. Harvest what you can. We'll be dispersing this amongst the family and friends, what we have got left. Just to clear the space, get some winter plantings in. Where we have excess space in the beds, I'm going to be covering them up with the weed-proof membrane, or the weed-resistant membrane. Yeah, because apart from like 16-foot layer of concrete, there's nothing that will, totally retard a weed. Especially some of the weeds that we get down on here. Excuse me, I've got the sniffles again. So yeah, Saturday morning. It's about 20 to 8 at the moment. And it's a bit sad really, because I don't like doing this. It's the first time I've really had a good pogrom. And by pogrom I mean like a really good clear out of everything. But that's what we're going to have to do today. Clear all the beds out. Get some more plantings in, a couple of sowings maybe this weekend of what we can grow in these last few months of the year in the run-in to winter. So we're going to be looking as well at things like overwintering onions and leeks, garlic, that kind of thing, because the alums, many of the alums, which is the onion family, can be left in to go over winter. Certain kales and things like chard and stuff like that, I believe you can do it with that. I'm going to ask around actually, just make sure. Might have to clotch some of it up, which is I might get a fleece over some bits and pieces a bit later on in the year, and see what we can continue to grow. But in the next couple of months, there's going to be some like construction stuff going on. We're going to be building the greenhouse. We're going to be rejigging Mick's polytunnel hoop house, tarting that up and making that look the part. And that's what we're going to be on with really. It's going to be preparation stuff for some winter growing, so we can have a heated greenhouse set up for growing bits and pieces and keeping them alive and getting them ready for next year. And seeing what else we can get in the ground and get growing, so we can get some more food out of the plot towards the back end of this year, like sort of like September, November, and that way on. It'd be good if you could have a winter potato, but you can't. I have got some stuff up at the top end there that's on the way. Like that'll be growing on for the next month, and there's some plants like the Brussels sprouts, they'll be carrying on into winter and over winter. There are going to be a couple of potato reveals coming up in the next week or two. But yeah, I'll just show, it's a bit sad, isn't it? You've got to take them all out, all these bits and pieces. So I've already cleared that out, and what happens is, I'll tell you what, when you leave spring onions into autumn, that's what happens to them. They turn into some sort of like leek-like creature. Picture these. Edible still, of course. Yeah, all edible. Well, not particularly nice, sweet baby spring onions, are they? But they were here. They were in this corner here, or in this end of this bed. And I just left them. Left them alone. Let them crack on. And so there's about 20 there, king-size spring onions that we're going to be eating and doing stuff with and giving away. Wash them all up, take the browning leaves off them so you get the fresh stuff underneath, and it's still edible. Mother Earth and Auntie Spud have been to Amsterdam, and they brought them back from the bulb market, and it's like a mixed bag of tulips. So they've gone in, put them in, and covered them over. There's a weedy looking dwarf conifer there as well. that are stuck in the corner of that front bed. So I'm going to be thinking cap on for these beds as well at the front, seeing what we can do with these, what we're going to be doing with these beds. Yeah, so there's plenty to do. I'm going to finish off the tiki hut, see, at some juncture. The beetroots are coming again, as you can see there. They're going to be ready shortly, those. They're not far off now. Take a few out, leave a few in to carry on. Those cluster planted ones. Get some weeding done in here. I think we've got whitefly or something like that on this kale. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Whether it's going to be detrimental to the plants. There's slugs getting in here as well. So I'm going to put slug pellets down as well in the beds that we're leaving. But this is a public disgrace, this bed. Look at this. Only things that like it are the bees. Bees still coming. Look, these are bees. His bum twitching bum. So yeah, I'm going to be taking out the rest of the stuff from in here because it's not going to get much bigger, and the critters are eating it. So it's coming out, and it's going to be distributed amongst the clan. And some of this stuff's going down to the hospice, Wigan Hospice, because we've had a word with them, see if they want some of it. They don't get it donated as a rule. They still have to buy vegetables, and there's nothing wrong with these veggies. They're spot on, really. Nutrition-wise, anyway, because they've had all the good nutrients and they've had no chemicals, herbicides, pesticides, insecticides, nothing like that's been on them. So I'm going to take them out and give them to the hospice, because we've got tons of red cabbage that we're pickling up at the moment for storage. So that's fine. We've run out of jars, to tell you the truth. We're short on jars now. We have been saving our jars, like, to put it in, but we're short on them. So a lot of this stuff is defo coming out. In fact, most of it's going to be coming out. Because as I say, the bugs are attacking. Look at that. It's a shame, that, because it was a nice one, that. But we're going to get them out. Get it cleared out. Same with these bean beds. They've seen the last of the Grand Hussar. Check any beans that are left on them. I give my mum about 20 pods, and they were ranging in bean from one per pod to about 6 per pod. And it's the same with these dwarf French ones here that are left on. They'll have to come off. They're all coming off, all these, because these have been in much longer than the ones next door on the yin yang, which I'll show you after. But yeah, these are sort of like coming to the end of the productive lives, so they must be taken and eaten or saved in some way. A lot of work to do weeding wise. I've not been doing as much as I need to be doing. There's tons in there, and I'm going to rethink this this fruit cage as well, and have a think about whether or not I'm going to be keeping all this fruit, because 90% of the fruit that grew in there we didn't eat. We had far too much of it. The red currants, they're all right when they're fully ripe and they're nice, like, but there's far too much in there for us to sort of to justify really the amount that is in there. There's some late fruiting raspberry in there, which I'm going to try and keep or move along. In fact, there's a couple of raspberries still on there. We have had a few off them. But yeah, I might be clearing all this out, you know, for getting further big beds in, like big root veg beds in. But I don't know. I'm thinking. And I'll be continuing to think about that and weigh it all up. What's what. Not going to be a downer this episode, don't worry about that. I'm just, it is sad when you come into the end of the growing. There's loads of tons of weeding. Bloody 60% of what vegetable matter is inside these hoop netted setups. So it's weed. That grows like a flaming weed as well, this sweet potato, look at that. It's a relative of the bindweed. This is bindweed, which is a pain in the arse. In there. And that's sweet potato. They're relatives, like. They're not kissing cousins, though, because I don't think you can get the same sort of tubers off that than you can off the actual sweet potatoes, obviously. The sweet potatoes is a tuber. I.e. it grows in the ground. It's not actually a potato, sweet potato. Although it's, you know, if you had sweet potato, it's a similar sort of a root veg. An in-ground tuber grown in the ground. Talking at my bum now, aren't I? But that's the script with it. Sweet potato. So yeah, lots of thinking, lots of shifting, lots and lots of weeding, and clearing up this weekend to do. And we'll start afresh. Not 100% afresh, but we'll have a rethink about a lot of the stuff that we've done this year, and that we've done perhaps not in the best way, and then have a sort of suss out about what we're going to do to rectify that and what we're going to be doing for better growing next year. Okay, see you in a bit.